Hello there, welcome back to the Once a Week kitchen. Today I'm making Christmas cake. I'm a little bit late, I normally make it at the end of October, but not to worry, it's still in time for Christmas, give it a few weeks to mature. Now I always think the hardest part and the most fiddly part is lining the tin, so I'm going to show you how I do it. I've drawn round the base of the tin. This tin's 7.5 inch square and 3 inches deep, by the way. Now it's got to be completely lined with greaseproof paper, otherwise it will stick and spoil your cake. So this bit of preparation is important. Once it's out of the way, then it's plain sailing. Cut round that. And then I want some strips to line the sides of the tin. So I'm just going to cut 2 strips like this. And I'm going to put the edges together and I'm going to snip. It's about 1/2 inch up all the way along. When my mother-in-law was teaching me how to bake, she used to make me do this job because she hated it. But that's how I got to learn. So what we do now, I've got some butter here and my trusty paintbrush that I use for brushing pastry. I'm going to brush all over with butter. Nothing less than butter is good enough for Christmas cake. It's a special cake and it deserves the best ingredients. No margarine today. Brush all the sides. So what we're going to do now is put a strip of paper, greaseproof paper, around the side of the tin. And press it down and the butter will make it stick. And just brush there, because that bit's going to overlap, and there. Press it down like that, all the way around. Then I'm going to put the square of paper on top. Then once again we're going to brush it all with butter. All up the sides. That's the most fiddly part of Christmas cake done. Right, Christmas cake. In the bowl I've got 250 grams of dark brown soft sugar and 250 grams of butter. Now I'm going to cream this with a wooden spoon. Now this takes a little bit of elbow grease, so don't be frightened to get stuck in, and give it a good beating, get it all really well mixed together. Keep beating it for a few minutes. This kind of dark brown sugar can tend to stick together in clumps, so if you spot any lumps, just break them up with your finger and thumb like that. They're quite soft, but you need to get rid of them if there are any lumps, because otherwise it could affect the texture of your cake. There's one. Just squeeze them and break them up. I've been beating this now for about 5 minutes and it's quite smooth and fluffy. I seem to have got rid of most of the lumps of sugar. So I've got 275 grams of plain flour and 4 large eggs. So what we're going to add now, starting with an egg, is 1 egg at a time. Beat that in. Till it's all mixed. Make sure it's all mixed in, and then about 1/4 of the flour. And mix that in. And we keep adding 1 egg, 1/4 of the flour, alternately like that, making sure everything's thoroughly mixed each time until all the eggs and all the flour have been added into the mixture. Don't be tempted to put them in all at once or speed this process up, because it will spoil the cake. I've just added the last 1/4 of the flour, giving it a good old stir, and that's most of the hard work done. The last ingredient we put in before we start to add the fruit is ground almonds. I've got 150 grams here, so I'm going to tip those in. You don't need any spices for this cake. As my mother-in-law used to say, if you've got good ingredients, you don't need spices. The cake ends up, it's very dark, rich, moist, absolutely gorgeous. But it does improve on keeping, so if you're going to make one, I would say now's the time to do it. Obviously it's too late to do it at the end of October because it's November now, but it's still got 6 weeks to mature, which should be enough. So that's the basic mixture now. Next thing we're going to do is add the fruit.